Hello and what's good YouTube? How you doing? It's Pommyinoz here and great feedback on the last video. Evidently you like seeing my ugly mug. So that's fantastic to know. It's nice to know as I hit mid-30s I'm not totally losing the enthusiasm. Before we get started, I've noticed a lot of you in the statistics aren't subscribed. Only 20% of you are subscribed, so please smash that like button. Please subscribe. It gives me something really to get up in the morning for, knowing that I'm slightly more popular than I was at high school. So today what we're doing is we're jumping on the bandwagon. We're literally running out of things to talk about. Thank God football is returning in 4 weeks, and I'm going to grade the 18 teams of teams that I like to teams that I can't stand. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So anyone who wants to try this, I'm sure if you've watched Caden's videos, he froths a good tier maker, as do I. Love a tier. We've got the tier maker website, so tiermaker.com. Get on there. If you've got some ones that you want to do as well, you can go in there and make them and send them to me, and I'm willing to do it. So let's smash into it. I'm a firm believer in let's go alphabetically. I like rules. Poms love rules. We like queuing and things like that. So let's do it. So we've got S tier to D tier. Evidently S tier is the best, D being the worst. So it's teams that I like watching I've gone with, not that I've got an affinity with, teams I like watching play. So let's go with Adelaide. Adelaide are a tough one. Like for me, the Crows, I'm neither here or there with them. I mean, they're just like the trade bank of Carlton. It's where we go when we want to make a pick 20 into a pick 8. So, I mean, football style-wise, prior to Nick's, I've got to say they didn't quite grind my gears enough to go in the D, but they didn't quite wet the whistle per se to go A, B or S. So I'm going to plonk them in the C. Now, Brizzy Lions, big fan of Brisbane Lions. I like their, free-flowing, kind of attacking, aggressive football. So we're going to smunk them in an A. The Blue Boys. Well, it depends. Like, if it was 2018, these would be a hard-out E. I'd make a new graphic. They've got to go in the S. Like, they're probably the only side in the competition that can make me want to punch a cat or, kiss everyone I see in Coles down aisle 2. So, depending on how they go, we'll put them there and we'll see how we go. We'll see how we feel. Now, the Pies, this is quite a difficult one. Big shout out to Swoop Luke, Collingwood fan channel. I've got to say, one of my good mates is a Collingwood fan. I see a lot of Collingwood play. And probably it's hard to say as a Carlton fan, but I do enjoy a good Collingwood game. Got to say, when I go there, I enjoy... I rub off. Being a Pom, you rub off on the crowd. You really get off on what the crowd do. And I find that the Collingwood chant, although very remedial, Collingwood... It's no... Brian Dean, Tony Agana, bippity boppity boo, but it's good as it goes. I mean, it's probably the closest you've got to Never Walk Alone in Australia. We'll come to a chants video later on. It's been requested a lot. AFL chants, come on boys, sort your lives out. It's not good enough. But I'm putting them in the S category. I really enjoy watching Collingwood play. Essendon's a no-brainer. I would probably rather relive watching Carlton GWS 2018 over and over again than ever putting them higher up than a D. So, sorry Essendon fans, but rivalry is rivalry. Freo, I mean, if it was Ross, it's a D. Got to say, pre-season they kind of looked a little bit more expansive. They're going to go in the C category for me. Freo, I'm neither here or there on. The Cats, they're an interesting bunch, aren't they? It's kind of like the Cats. I'd say Geelong is the Pom of Melbourne. It's like being the Poms of Melbourne. I would actually say that people born in Geelong are probably where Poms are associated as well to Australians. Kind of that friendly, bantery rivalry. Bit nothing. I mean... I genuinely, this is going to be controversial, and don't hate me, Geelong fans. A lot of respect for you. Big fan of Yablert. Big fan of him, but I'm going to put him in the C. I'm going to put him in the C for now. Not a big fan of watching Geelong play, I have to say. Gold Coast Suns. It's a tough one, this Gold Coast, because controversial opinion, but I actually like the way Dewey sets up to actually win. Big fan of that. That they know they're not going to win, but boy oh boy, do they set up to give it a go. And I'm quite interested. There's a lot of players there that I'm a big fan of, like Rankine, Lukosius, Ben King, Harbrow. I love watching him play. Florini, who I feel like is one of the most underrated players in the comp. So I do really enjoy watching them develop with them older type players. And like, who doesn't love 2 Metre Peter? I mean, like, his nickname is based on the fact that he slept in a grow bag as a kid. So I mean, they're a B. They're the first B. The Giants, this is going to be controversial as well because everyone loves the Giants, right? Everyone seems to love them. They're like kind of that vanilla ice cream of the AFL world. And everyone's like, oh, wouldn't it be great if they won a flag? And yeah, I don't think so. I mean, it's Carlton's feeder club, isn't it? Like, if you don't make it at GWS, you make it at Carlton. So for that reason alone, I find it tough to like them. And then when you throw in Cornelio, who would rather stay at GWS for Gill's blood money than come to the mighty Blue Boys, they go downhill in my boat. And like, his Instagram is just full of topless pictures on a yacht, and I don't like being mugged off. So because of Coggy, do I put him in the D? Is that like a little bit pretentious? Throwing him in the C. I'm throwing him in the C. Very good team, GWS, but just for me, yeah, no, not for me, not for me. Hawthorn Football Club. Now, if it was Hawthorn Fan TV, this is an S, man, because that is the best content on the internet. I love them fan cams. Fan cams are done really well by Blue Abroad. Big shout out to my sister channel. And Hawthorn Fan TV, they are electric. Like, the personalities they've got on there. Big shout out to you. Big fan. The club... You see, I don't find their fans arrogant enough that when I first got into football in about 2011, so that's 7 years now, these guys were like absolutely dominant. Evidently that's 9 years as well. My maths was shocking. But they were so dominant, but there's no arrogance from them. It's kind of like, you know, yeah, we won a few, like, do you know what I mean? Like 4 flags, yeah, but we're all fun. And even though I went to private school, I'm not a prep school fan, so I'm going to put these in the B. I'm neither here or there in Hawthorn. The D's. I've got a soft spot for the D's. Like, I know there's the reputation. I mean, it is the Melbourne football fans, right? Now, I heard these stereotypes, and being a Pom, we love stereotypes. Like, we actually live in the stereotype world. We love it. Now, I was told that these guys were like, you know, they piss off to Buller, they go skiing. I've no idea about football. And one of my first games that I really remember is I was in level 2 at the Marvel. And there was a Melbourne fan, and he had a full-on suit. He was about my age. And he had thimbles of wine, and they were them open canapé sandwiches. And I was like, who the hell has an open sandwich and a thimble of wine at the footy? Like, to me, if you're going to watch the footy, it's a pie and a mid-strength beer, and then you're complaining that you can't have a full strength. Well, one of your mates has had 2 mid-strengths. He's lost the plot, and he's picking on some guy, slapping him around the edge, saying, have you got a problem with hair? So, I mean, that's how I go to the football with. It's for banter and it's for enjoying yourself. It's not for wine and talking about your 401 trust funds. So, for me, fan base, meh. Kados is the exception to the rule, I think. But I've got a soft spot for them, I have to say. Like, it's a club that reminds me of Newcastle United in the UK. Like, you just want them to do well because they've suffered for so long. Now, if it was 2018, I loved the style of football. I wasn't a big fan last year. It's just pure inside and no outside run. I'm going to give them a B. I want to give them higher, but it's tough. Now, the Kangas. I like their intensity. Like, round 1 showed it. They never say die. But I can't get past that kangaroo. I can't. And I'm a man of my word. I like chants. I like a good chant at the football. I like good noise. And honestly, that kangaroo, I like... And also KSI supports them, man. What is going on? It's a bubble, man. It's a bubble. So, the Kangas, though, I do like the style. There was a lot of players there that I'm a big fan of. Zerha, I love Zerha. Big fan of him. I love Ben Brown. You've got to admire a 9-foot giant who looks like Sideshow Bob that has a run-up that's longer than Usain Bolt's ran combined in his career, who's also a vegan. I've got a lot of time for that. I've got a lot of time for the irony in all of that. So these guys are going to be... I'm gonna put you in the B because Ryan McGrath, I know you're a big fan of the North and I feel like I owe it to you. Now, St Kilda, Carlton are probably the team I watch the most. Second to Collingwood. Third, obviously, are the mighty St Kilda. My wife is a huge Saints fan. I watch a lot of Saints football. I love Ratton. They go in the A. Sydney Swans, contested animals, aren't they? Like under horse, it's just congestion. It's everything that's pants about footy. So straight away they go in the D. Do not hate. I'm sorry, but wow, like play it. Eagles, straight in the S. Love. If anyone who knows me, I love a halfback. I love a defender. I love possession-based football. Big fan of it. West Coast encompass that. For me, they are the favourites for the flag. And they're a team that I really enjoy watching. I really enjoy West Coast Eagles play. They've got probably 90% of players that I like watching play for them. And yeah, I'm a big fan of them. The Doggies, another team I really enjoy watching. They go in the A. I really enjoy the Doggies. Big fan, and really enjoy it. And Port. I like Port. Connor Rosie, Dersma, Butters. I like their young crew. They go in the B. We're going to do a bit of superimposing here, but Richmond aren't on here for some reason. And I find that kind of a shame because for me, you would have thought Richmond are there. So I'm going to stick Richmond in the S tier. I know it's controversial being a Carlton fan, but that football is just so good. I really enjoy watching that style of football. For me, it's the ultimate football. If you're new to soccer, people like watching Barcelona, Real Madrid, Man City, that kind of new tiki-taka football that Man City played, that Barcelona used to play before them, and Bayern Munich because of Pep. You've got the Gegenpress from Liverpool. It's really explosive, and Richmond play that kind of press-type football. It's really high intensity. It's really easy on the eye, and even though I'm a Carlton fan, I appreciate good football, and I think that's really big as being a fan. You've got to appreciate talent, and there's no getting away from it. For me, that is a phenomenal team. Yeah, so I mean, that is my list. I'm going to take one look at it. I think I'm going to move Freo down to the D. I just don't think I care enough about them to watch the football. I mean, I love Nat Fyfe, so that is a reason that he should be in the C, but outside of that, I'm not a big fan of the Stout. I'd love to do this at the end of the year, so I'm going to put them in the D. But aside from that, I'm fairly happy with it. I think there's probably an argument there to move players higher, but I mean, move teams that I like. But I mean, that generally to me, if I'm watching on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, the games I'm looking out for primarily are Carlton, Collingwood, West Coast, and Richmond because one, I love Carlton, and the other three, I just enjoy their style of football. I really enjoy it. Brisbane, Doggies, and St Kilda. Obviously, again, similar story to the S category. I really enjoy... I've got loyalty to one team, and then I really enjoy the development and the future of that. And then my B is kind of like, you know, I'm watching these games regardless because of players and history. And then kind of the rivalry seep in and, you know, like little bitter sanctimonious banter arrives. But, I mean, I'm happy with that list. I'd love to see your tier list, guys. If you've got here to this part of the video, I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you guys are supporting and watching it. Pom just talking about footy, sharing our great game. Even though I've got a weird accent, I'm one of you guys in spirit. Remember, like, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. We've got some really exciting videos next week. I'm going to do the reaction video you've all asked for about soccer chants. We've talked about it a bit in here. Got some more North Melbourne footage coming up of the career. We're going to try and smash that out before the season starts. Then we're going to have some in-depth analytical historical data for you for the future of the 2020 season. As always, guys, some live streams coming up as well because I'm in the final of an AFL comp. Have a great hump day, guys, and I'll see you soon. Pom out.